Hi, everyone. So today I just wanted to touch base on a topic that I think is important to most people, but also plays a big role in this program with trying to incorporate treats and not deprive yourself, but also get the best results. So that topic is alcohol. So couple things that I want to just make sure you totally understand. One is, yes, you can still have your alcohol. Two is, if you drink alcohol on a daily basis, 1 glass a night, you may have slower results than if you drank 3 times a week or 1 time a week or whatever it is. However, this is not a 6-week or 8-week or whatever week crash diet where we're trying to lose a ton of weight in 6 weeks and then gain it all back. So I want this to be a sustainable lifestyle for you so that you are able to take these concepts that we're learning to go further past our program and really be able to implement this throughout the rest of your life. Come back when you need a refresher, come back when you fall off the wagon or need some more accountability. But ultimately, my goal is to give you the tools and the knowledge to take with you and use this for the future. So let's talk a little bit about how the body processes alcohol. When you drink an alcoholic beverage, your liver stops processing fat for the following 6 to 8 hours. But most people are about 8 hours. Your body is no longer able to process fat because it's taking that time to process the alcohol that you drink. Even if it's a low carb beverage, even if it is a non-gluten beverage. We'll talk a little bit about good examples, but yes, even if it is just pure alcohol, your body takes that long to digest that alcohol, and you're not processing fat during that time. So let's say you eat a meal and then you drink a couple drinks. Your body's going to preferentially go through the alcohol and process that alcohol first. Then you're going to process whatever food remains. Then you process fat. So if you're drinking every single evening, a glass or 2 a night, your body, so 8 hours, let's say you stop drinking at 8 o'clock to make life easy. So 4 a.m., your body's going to start processing food. So for the next 4 to 6 hours, you are processing that food. So, 4 a.m. plus 6 hours is 10. So you're really not getting the benefit of fasting like we want you to. Some would say, well, I should just drink earlier in the day. Well, maybe, but I think the better option is to learn how to drink your alcohol and really be able to see the best results through the faster way. So my first tip for alcohol is make sure that you are tracking your alcohol. Yes, some of these alcoholic beverages say that they have low sugar and they're low carb and all of these things, but what we're not seeing is what I call the fourth macro. The fourth macro is the alcohol content that we need to track as either a fat or a carb from that beverage. So let's say that a glass of wine has 100 calories, but on the actual bottle, or if you look it up in MyFitnessPal, it may say that it only has 5 carbs or 10 carbs. I'm making that up, but let's say it has 10 carbs. But what we're not realizing is 10 carbs is actually not including the alcohol content. So we need to add the alcohol content into MyFitnessPal so that you're tracking your macros properly. So for instance, if a glass of wine is 100 calories, I'm not going to try to do that math. Actually, for carbs, I can do that math. 100 calories minus or divided by 4 is how you would track your alcoholic beverage as a carb. So 1 gram of carbohydrates equals 4 calories. So if we have 100 calories of a glass of wine, we'll say, We divide that by 4, and that equals how many carbs you should count for that glass of wine. So 1 glass of wine could be 25 carbs. Now, when we get to fat, so on a low carb day, you may want to track your alcohol as fat instead of carbs. And that is fine. You can choose whether you want to track it as a carb or as a fat. If you want to track it as a fat, you would take 100, and this is where I'm not going to try to do the math, but I think I know pretty good. So 100 divided by 9, because every gram of fat is 9 calories, equals about 11. So I could have done that math, but either way, so you would add 11 grams of fat on a low carb day. Now, if you're low on fat on a regular macro day or whatnot, yes, you could add it either way. Does not matter to me whether you add it as a carb or a fat. Whatever fits your day is perfectly fine. However, we just want you tracking that alcohol so that you're truly making sure that we're accounting for it and not just saying, well, it says it's 2 carbs. Well, it is 2 carbs, but we're not tracking the alcohol portion of it, and we really want to be able to do that. Now, let's talk about what choices are the best for the faster way. So we try to eliminate dairy and gluten, and beer has gluten in it unless you are specifically drinking a gluten-free beer, or a cider type beer usually does not have gluten, but you would want to check the package. So those are 2 options, a gluten-free beer, and there actually are some of those now that are not too bad. My husband found a bunch of those, and then the ciders, just double check your actual product label. Not the easiest thing to do if you're at a restaurant. So if you are looking at more of a liquor type drink, we try to stick to clear liquors. They have less sugar. So, a vodka, gin, clearly I don't drink a lot of liquor. And then add in something that does not have sugar. So a seltzer water, a club soda, something like that, where we're not doing a whole bunch of extra sugar added to the alcoholic beverage. Wine is okay. Yes, you have to account for sugar content and whatnot, but that is okay. There's no gluten, no dairy in wine. So that's an option as well. My biggest point for you to know is that if we could eliminate the everyday drink and go to, a couple of times a week, you're going to see better results. Now, that doesn't mean that if you drink every night, you're not going to see results, because you will. But if you're someone who drinks a glass of wine every night, let me know so that we can possibly adjust your macros or talk about the best way for you to get the best results. I hope that was helpful and gives you some good insight. Again, in case you missed it, so you don't have to rewind, to calculate your macros for a glass of wine or whatever kind of alcoholic beverage, as a carb, you would take the calories in your portion and divide by 4. If you want to track it as a fat, you would take the calories and divide by 9. And then you would add that as a food into MyFitnessPal, or just know that, hey, I drank 25 carbs, and when you're posting your macros that day, just type in there plus 25 carbs for wine or whatever. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hope that helps a little bit, and I will see you in the group.